We didn't do a preview for match number 38 yesterday, but it's not rocket science to know that the Mumbai Indians had to win this all important game against the Rajasthan Royals. But when one of your opponents picks up a 5 wicket haul and the other one of your opponents scores a century in the same game, it's going to be pretty difficult to win that game of T20. Sarvesh, we've spoken about Mumbai at length throughout this IPL, but when it mattered, things not going their way today.
Yes, I think uh, this was a clinical performance from Rajasthan Royals. Like you said, 5 wickets, 100 runs. A batter who was struggling for form, he coming back to form. That's also important from the perspective of the World Cup. So I think everything is looking good. All all boxes are ticking for Rajasthan Royals, and it's been that kind of a season where I think they have lost only one game out of I think 8 matches now. So I think they're almost through. I think they will be there in that top two. So things are looking excellent for Rajasthan Royals, and things are looking in the opposite direction for Mumbai Indians, in the exact opposite direction.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny game because at one stage, Mumbai were 20 for 3.
Yeah.
And at that stage, if someone came up to the Mumbai team and said that you'll get to 179, they would have probably shaken their hand and said, yeah, we'll take that. But on the flip side of it, when you're 151 for 4 in the 16th over, then to end up with only 179 when you have the likes of Hardik Pandya, Tim David to follow, they would feel that they were about 20, 25 runs short.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, at least they needed at least 200. I mean, on this pitch, it felt that the ball was gripping a bit. That's why that was my earlier indication. But later on, I think it started playing very well. So I think after that point, I think it felt like maybe 210 could have been a pass score for a team like Mumbai Indians who have a weaker bowling side. So I felt maybe they needed to get to 210 and 210 or at least 200. That was, I think, in my opinion, should have been the target. And if you look at the scores this season at Jaipur, nobody has reached 200 yet. But I think Mumbai they were in a position where they could have easily crossed 200. But this is a typical Mumbai Indian season where where they look good in one phase and then they look equally bad in the next phase. So it was again that kind of a performance.
We've got the match summary up for you. So Mumbai Indians getting to 179 for 9 in their 20 overs, thanks to contributions from Tilak Verma and Nehal Vadera, a name that we've been talking about a lot, finally getting a chance and really proving his worth in that side. On the other side, for the Rajasthan Royals, Sandeep Sharma, career best figures for him, 5 for 18, and the best figures so far in this IPL of his 4 overs. Rajasthan Royals never looked um, uncomfortable in that run chase, getting to that target of 180 for the loss of just 1 wicket with about 8 deliveries to spare. Yashasvi Jaiswal, top scoring, remaining unbeaten, 104 of 60 deliveries, and supported by Sanju Samson and Joss Patla. Let's dig a bit deeper into that Mumbai batting performance. They didn't get the most ideal of starts. Trent Bolt picking up a wicket in that very first over, and followed by Sandeep Sharma as well. Um, Mumbai, when they've done well, we've seen that they've got that start from Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan. But when they don't get those swashbuckling starts from their top order, it's always going to be a struggle street for them.
Yeah, like today, I think when Sandeep Sharma and Trent Bolt, these two guys have excellent figures against Mumbai Indians. Whenever they play against Mumbai, I think the figures look brilliant. Uh, Again, what we saw today was, I mean, it wasn't surprising that Trent Bolt picked up another wicket in the first over. What was surprising was that shot from Rohit Sharma. I felt he till that point 6 runs from 4 balls. I think I felt that they would now look to play out that over. But if you take a closer look at that fielding strategy RR had for that delivery, you'll realize that there was only one fielder outside the circle. So I think it was a clear indication. It was a clear invitation rather to for Rohit Sharma to to go above the I mean play the
Infield.
aerial shot, and they were asking basically Rohit to to hit it against Trent Bolt's swinging deliveries, and I think he took it, and the result wasn't so good for him. I felt that was a no, I mean nothing short in my opinion. He wasn't going anywhere. I mean he was just looking to uh, heave it, and there was no, in my opinion, he was not in a good position to play that shot. I felt that's where he lost his wicket, and I think Ishan Kishan, we know his weakness against the moving ball. He doesn't get troubled by express pace, but his weakness is that moving delivery. I think what we saw today, I think same the same pattern has been repeated, and the bowler Sandeep Sharma, like I said before, his figures against Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, all these guys are brilliant. I mean, I was surprised that I was not surprised that he was he was bowling inside power play, because till now we have seen him in the death overs phase, and in the middle overs phase, and Nandre Baga used to open with Trent Bolt. So I think what we saw today, I think, was a good game management, good tactics from Rajasthan, that they brought him early because they knew his matchups against these batters were good. I think he picked up the critical wicket of Ishan Kishan and then Surya Kumar Yadav. I mean, if you get these three Mumbai batters inside power play, then you have already won 70% of the game, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it's a funny season for Surya Kumar Yadav because when he came in, he got a duck in his first innings. Then he's got a 52, a duck after that, 78 after that, and a low score again of
Yeah,
10 today. So it's been stop, start, stop, start, stop, start for him. So they'll be hoping that he can find some level of consistency. Also, just notice that it's the second time that he's getting out, trying to, flick one up in the air, sort of getting a leading edge. So yeah, even before he's got at least today he played about 10 8 deliveries, so we
yeah,
can say that he kind of probably had a measure of the pitch. Um, at that wicket of Surya Kumar Yadav, obviously Mohammad Nabi getting a promotion today. Your thoughts on that tactic? Because obviously left-right combination probably also asked
yeah,
Nabi to have a go at that stage because the run rate was low, so trying to kind of get some momentum into that innings.
yeah.
I thought it was a decent tactic. It came off a bit, but yeah, at least something out of the box from Mumbai there.
Yes, I mean they had Tilak Verma at the crease, and they did not want two left-handers at that point. And then the only option they had, apart from Nabi, they had Hardik Pandya and Tim David. These guys were the only option. So I think they felt that these guys are better if they play towards the back end. So they sent Nabi up. I think it was a decent move tactically, but again Nabi against swinging deliveries of Trent Bolt and Sandeep Sharma. I mean nobody would back him to play out that phase, but I think he did a decent job there, and I think even he in fact in that sixth over against Avesh Khan, I think he also got some quick runs. So I think he did his job. To be fair with him, I think he did what was expected of him. No complaints there. And after that, Tilak Verma and Nihal Vadera, the partnership of '99, I think they also did. Uh, I mean, they in fact managed to. I mean, we are still awake. We are still doing the show. It's almost 12:15. That's because of Tilak Verma and Nihal Vadera. Otherwise, this game was over long back. And
Yeah.
I mean, even the score of 150 was looking like a huge ask at one point. But these guys stuck there, and they just. I mean, Yuzvendra Chahal, him going for those many runs this season. We haven't seen this happen a lot. I haven't seen this happen. In fact, anytime this season. But these guys were batting brilliantly, and they took full opportunities. They took took him for cleanness, and they scored those runs against him. I think credits to these guys. And clearly, when these guys got out, when Nihal Vadera got dismissed, I think it made a difference of at least 20 runs. Otherwise, 200 was looking on at one point. So I think these two, apart from these two, then I think nothing happened after that. Everyone just came in and just went out.
Just a quick word on Nehal Vadera there. I mean, we know Tilak Verma, he's been in good form this season. He's been putting on scores consistently, so we'll park him for a bit. But Nehal Vadera, first game coming into the side, we've seen what he can do in the previous seasons. We've got a lot of time for him. We've discussed the fact that he should be in the side.
Yeah.
Um, but is Mumbai's problem trying to fit and kind of come up with this perfect combination and finding perfect spots for each and every batter? Um, is the availability of too much talent sometimes can be a deterrent in you getting a bit confused as to who to play where and all of that. Do you see that
Mm,
problem with Mumbai? Because he's clearly looks like someone who should be in the side every game, but yet it's difficult to find that space for him, isn't it?
I don't think it was that difficult. It was just brainless tactics, in my opinion, from game number one. We have discussed this. They sent Deval Brevis against in swinging deliveries of Trent Bolt, and in that game, and he wasn't even ready. It felt like that he was not even in a position to go out and bat. I mean, that was the early indication that I got from this management, that they are not looking in great tactical mindset at that point. And I think they took 7 games. This was the 8th game of the season for Mumbai Indians. It took them 8 games to bring Nihal Vadera in, and he came in and delivered straight away. If you look at that interview from Rohit Sharma last season, he mentioned 2 3 players, Tilak Verma, and he also mentioned Nihal Vadera, and these guys are going to be there for Mumbai Indians for next few years, and then they are just going to carry on from the seniors. Just took it from them. I think that was the kind of expectations that the some Mumbai Indians fans they have had from him. Even the players like Rohit Sharma, when they say that such things about their players, I think they know what they're talking about. So I think this should have happened way back in the first game. This is happening in the 8th game, when the season is almost over. So I think now if you play him in next 6 games, and if he gets going, it's good for Nihal Vadera personally. I want him to do well, but the season is over already for you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that finish. When Nehal Vadera got out, he got out in about the 17th over. Um, on current form, Tim David is batting better than Hardik Pandya. We've seen that in the last few games. With 4 overs to go, do you think Hardik Pandya coming ahead of Tim David also could have probably cost the side another 15-20 runs?
I think Hardik is not somebody who is going to score runs from ball number one, but I think it still makes sense to have him up ahead of Tim David, because Tim David can. I mean, you can still hope that Hardik would get going from ball number one, and then they will have that insurance of Tim David. So I think that was the thinking. I don't have any complaints with this. In my opinion, Hardik is already batting too low, because there are already better batters above him. Those top six apart from Nabi, who is not a regular top six batter. I think all those guys are better than Hardik. They are in better touch. Even if Nihal Vadera is playing his first game, I think you would expect him to do better than Hardik in his given Hardik's current form. So I think in that top five, I think he deserved to bat outside that top five. And I think when you're competing with just Team David, and you're in that 16th over, then I think you have to bat above him. So that's the kind of muddle they have gotten into, and I think I mean it's too late to solve that puzzle now. But I think both Tim David and Hardik are not firing at the moment. So I think whoever is coming up or coming down, I think is not making a lot of difference. But technically speaking, I think Hardik coming ahead makes a bit more sense, because he takes some time. Otherwise, there is nothing much to choose between these two.
Yeah, it just felt like an innings where, you at the end of it all, you were left wanting more. And that's the kind of feeling that you finished off with that. So 179 for 9 is what Mumbai put on the board. Let's have a quick look at Rajasthan's bowling figures. One name stands tall above everyone else there, because the reason I say it is we hum and har about economy rates there, and you can see on the right hand side 8, 12.25, 7.75, and 12. But one name, Sandeep Sharma, 4.5 runs and over, picking up 5 wickets for 18 runs in his 4 overs in a 180 run game. Those figures are absolutely sensational. Um, is Sandeep Sharma the probably the most underrated and unsung hero of IPL in IPL history? Probably.
Probably, I mean, nobody gives him a chance because he's not express. He's not 140, 145 kind of a bowler. He's not somebody who has that lethal bouncer in him. He's not somebody who is going to do those flashy celebrations. So I think he just comes and does his job and goes about it very quietly. I think that's his personality, and I think you rightly said he has his figures now. Speak for himself, and I think what he has done to not just today. I mean, let's not forget that he came in as a replacement last season, similar to what we have seen with Mohit Sharma. Even he came in, even he
Yep.
wasn't picked earlier. So I think these two guys are having, like now this is second season in running. I think these two guys are having a brilliant run, brilliant little late run in their careers, because these guys are not the youngest. They are 30 plus, probably They have played for India, but I think you don't expect them to play for India again. But they are still giving their best. They are still performing, and they are still taking all those wickets. So I think they are still making a case for themselves. Who knows? Maybe something can happen in the future. But credits to these two guys. I mean, I really like what these guys are doing. They are just. I mean, we know what's going to come from them. You know, Sandeep Sharma is going to bowl a lot of cutters, similar to Mohit Sharma. You know, they are not going to bowl at 140. So just that pace variation is just about 120 to 135 or maybe 132. That the range is just at 10 kilometers, but still they are good enough to defeat all those batters like Tim David, Suryakumar Yadav. So I think, yeah, credit to these guys.
Yeah, what Rajasthan, in my opinion, have done really well this season is not used him in every game. They see the wicket, and Sandeep Sharma has got a particular set of skills
Yeah,
that are not going to be useful in every condition. But whenever they see a pitch which has got a bit of grip on it, which is a bit slowish, and where all his variations can come into play, they've played him. So a lot of credit should go to the Rajasthan Royals management as well in picking him for the right games. Um, yeah, more power to him. I was just looking at his numbers, and he's sitting on something ridiculous like
yeah,
193 T20 wickets, which is phenomenal. Yeah, so hats off to Sandeep Sharma. Right, in response, we had the Rajasthan Royals chasing 180 for victory. Now, Yashasvi means successful. He was extremely successful against England, had a bit of a lull in this IPL so far, a few question marks being raised as to whether he still was India's number one choice to open in T20s at the T20 World Cup. But there's only one way to silence all your critics and all the doubters is to score runs with your bat and pick wickets with your ball. Yashasvi Jaiswal, what an innings. A century in a run chase, in a winning cause, striking at 173, 9 boundaries, 7 sixes. He's well and truly back, isn't he?
yeah. I mean, this was expected. This was needed rather. And when you're playing against a team which is under firing, I think we know the issues with Mumbai's bowling. I think this was a good opportunity for him to come back in form. This looked like a at least 10 run below par score, and given the attack Mumbai have, I think this was doable. And I think he stuck there. He just hung in there. He earned those runs initially. He Let's not forget Jasprit Bumrah bowled 2 overs inside that power play, so it was not that easy. But he just hung in there and he knew what to do. And even Josh Butler didn't uh, go after bowlers right from the beginning. So I think he had to make some adjustments. He just stood there. He knew what he had to do, and he had a plan in his mind. And I think it all came off for him. And I'm very glad that it is coming off for him, because now we are going to that little phase where we are going to discuss a lot about the T20 World Cup and in the World Cup squad. So I think this was a good time. Timing is good. I think maybe this week we'll have some information on who's going and who's not. So I think this is a timely 100 for him, and I think let's hope that he will continue his form.
Absolutely. The interesting stats for me in that innings, other than Nehal Vadera, no other batter scored at a better strike rate than him.
Yeah,
And the one thing I love about Yashasvi Jaiswal is when he gets to 50, invariably, more often than not, he goes on and he converts it into a big match winning score, which is great for the Rajasthan Royals and even better for Team India. Um, One thing I wanted to touch upon, Sarvesh, is the mood in a team or the environment in a team when you look at how they are in the field.
yeah,
I was very disappointed with Mumbai's fielding today. I saw some really ordinary efforts, and starting from the captain himself, and then it just filters down to the rest of the side. There was one ball that he rolled over, which went through to the boundary in the power play. I think it was the last ball probably of the power play that Tushara bowled, and you could just see the heads all
yeah,
going down at that point of time. And this was when they were 60,
yeah,
so you still had about 120 runs to get to win, and the shoulders were already dropping. And
yeah.
then those dropped catches by Tim David, and there was an effort on the boundary of someone pushing the ball over.
Nihal Vadera, yeah.
Th- Yeah, they're just not looking like a
Yeah,
side.
in the end, even Mohammad
That's
Nabi, who is a good fielder, even he was not looking great in the field. That tells you that
yeah.
that tells you that they had already thrown their towels and the game was over long ago. And I think it was just about completing the game. It was just about that formality. I think that's what they did. I think you rightly said, at 60 they look like, it looked like it's all over. And I think this is the kind of season Mumbai are having right now. I mean, things are not working out on the field, off the field, in the batting. I mean, there is bit of an inconsistency that we are seeing. Rohit Sharma, let's not forget, he's scoring runs this season. He has already crossed 300 run mark, and we have people have been complaining that Rohit Sharma is not scoring enough runs. Now he has scored runs. Surya Kumar Yadav missed the earlier phase of the IPL, but I think he has come back and played two good knocks. Probably his knock against Punjab Kings was the match-winning knock, so I think he has even made a difference. Out of those three wins, I think he has contributed to one win at least. And I think, I mean, you just look at this team, and it doesn't look like a team. It looks like there are individuals playing, and there's nothing working out for them. And individually, I think they are putting out decent performances. But like we just saw, what happened in the field, and that is a good indication of what is happening in their minds and their body language. All these things tell you that things are not working out somewhere. I think it's just about. It felt like they are just completing a formality. They are just playing it out for the sake of it. They just have to play out for say 18, 19 overs so that opponents could chase it. That was the mindset. It was bizarre.
Yeah, it's not very often that you see Jasprit Bumrah going for 37 from his 4 overs. But if anybody deserves an off day, it is
Yeah,
Jasprit Bumrah because he's just been doing it for their team day in day out. So yeah, I guess, and even in that, he's just been pipped by Piyush Chawla at an economy rate of 8.25. But
yeah,
even while on his bad day, he's not as bad as some of the others.
yeah,
Um, One last question on this bowling effort. We saw Nuwan Tushara today
yeah.
for the first time. Um, but even with him, one just got the feeling um, that there were too many people talking to him. I saw once he had that 16 run over, which was the last one of the power play. You saw Malinga come in and almost have a go at him about the lines he was bowling and stuff like that. Um, it's very important that they use him correctly, isn't it? Because he's the kind of bowler who can get you wickets, but you've got to use him in the right phase and you've got to give him the right fields and you got to get the best out of him because just throwing him the ball and asking him to perform is not going to work.
Oh, you have to use him smartly. Your team needed wickets, and Tushara's strength is his swing, that shape that he gets, which away from the right-handers. And I felt he had a case to bowl first over today. I mean, when you play Tushara, just play him, just give him that new ball because that's what he does for his country and for all the teams. But I mean, for some reason he did not bowl, and Hardik Pandya, who is not a big swinger of the ball, he's not known for his new ball bowling. He bowled it first over, and the batters were Josh Butler and Yashasvi Jaiswal. I think you have to be smart. You have to be in the game, and you have to use your bowlers' resources correctly. That did not happen today again for the eighth time this season. And I think then once we were in that phase where Tushara was not getting that late swing, that shape, I felt that okay, now this is going to be a long game for him because you had to use him his 2 overs earlier because that's the role I felt he was given because Akash Madwal was not playing today and he used to bowl 1 or 2 overs in the power play, and I felt Tushara had I think it was probably best chance for Tushara to bowl that first and third over, but it did not happen. So again, not good usage of the resources. I don't know what's working, what's happening in that dugout and in that think tank.
Well, there we have it. Rajasthan Royals cruising to an 9 wicket win with 8 deliveries to spare. Um, and what has that done to their position in the table? Well, hasn't done anything for their position. They're still top. They were always top. As we said earlier in the program, just one loss out of 8, 14 points, good net run rate. They are looking good for qualification and actually looking good for qualification in those top
Top two,
two
yeah,
spots so that they can have two shots at the cherry, as we say. Mumbai, on the other hand, surprisingly still in seventh position, even after a season which has been quite bad. It just goes to show that the reason why people still believe in Mumbai is because even when they're having a bad season, they're finding ways to keep themselves above teams like Delhi, Punjab, and Bengaluru, who are having even worse
yeah.
seasons than the Mumbai Indians. But as you can see, they're one win away from having the same points as Chennai, Lucknow, and Gujarat as well. So it's one of those things. But just looking at the way the side is going, it's going to be tough going for them because now they've got how many 6 games left to get to 16. They need 5 wins out of that, and in fact, because of their net run rate, I think they're going to have to win all 6 of those games to kind of be in contention for a top four
Yeah,
spot, which is going to be very, very
yeah,
difficult.
it looks difficult because they are yet to play against the top sides. They haven't played, I think, against KKR, not even once. Then Hyderabad, I think they're yet to play against Hyderabad. So I think that they have. I think they haven't played against Lucknow as well, or have
They
they?
played one against Hyderabad. That
Yeah,
was the 270.
yeah. There's one more to come. I think there's one more to come at
Yeah,
Wankhede. They haven't played against Kolkata. They haven't played against Lucknow. So they have. If they have to qualify, they will have to beat all the top six teams. And I think that's a difficult
yeah,
task. That's where the difficulty
yeah.
lies. And the teams that they have defeated, look at that league table. They have defeated Delhi, they have defeated Punjab, they have defeated Bangalore.
They've defeated Bangalore.
All the teams below them, they have defeated
Below.
them. Exactly. So
Yeah.
that tells you the story about why these four teams are down at the bottom. Because if you are getting defeated by Mumbai, then you deserve to be at number 8. That's the kind of season these four teams are having.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. What do we got coming up tomorrow? Well, we've got LSG versus CSK. Now, both teams are in the middle of that points table. LSG obviously being a new team, not a lot of history there, 2-1. But Lucknow in fifth spot, Chennai in fourth spot. So they could do a swapsy around. Whoever wins um, goes up or down, depending on what happens. Sarvesh, what can we look forward to the venue and to the head to head record between these two sides?
I think we saw a slowish pitch in Lucknow a few days ago, and I think it wasn't that slowish because the way Lucknow batted. I think it was still a decent pitch to bat on, and I think what we are going to get at Chennai maybe. I mean, you don't know. I mean, because this season we have seen a 200 game at Chennai, and we have then seen 137, 140 kind of games as well. So I think we don't know what to expect yet from there, but I think it would be a slightly on a slower side. This is what I'm expecting. Maybe somewhere around 170, 180 pitch again. It should be a close game. If you look at the historical performances against these two teams, the winning margin is just about 12 runs, and the games have gone to that last over. So I think they have played some close games in the past, and I mean, at Chennai, the games have the winning margin says 33.5. That means there have been some one-sided games, but those games have been very few. I mean, that MI versus LSG game and that CSK versus GT game, which you are seeing second from the top. I think these are the two games which, and because of these two games, I think it has made that kind of a difference in that stat. But I think apart from these two games, all the games were pretty much not one-sided. They were pretty much close. So I think we should expect a good game. And these two teams, they are like you said, fighting for that fourth spot. So you expect them to play well, and because this is not a 2 pointer, by the way, this is a 4 pointer. Because you're not just going to get those 2 points, you're also going to take away those 2 points from your direct rival who is going to rival you for that top four spot. So it's a very critical game. In my opinion, whoever wins this will have a very good chance of finishing in that top four.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're right in saying, there's a couple of pitches there in Chennai. One is slightly quicker, the other one is slightly sluggish. So we'll have to wait and watch and see what they dish out tomorrow. Well, that's pretty much all we have for you tonight. The news from here is that the Rajasthan Royals continue their impressive run on in IPL 2024. They are at the top of the table. Mumbai, though, lots of unanswered questions, and it's been a season of lots of unanswered questions for them. They'll have to dig deep and find some answers to those questions. Unless Sarvesh has anything to add, Sarvesh, are we good to call it a night now?
Yes, I mean, looking at the table now, I think it looks like there are six teams fighting for that, fighting for not six teams, because let's assume that Rajasthan are already qualified. So there are probably three teams fighting for those two spots. Uh, let's take a look at that league table. Let's see. So number four, Chennai, Lucknow, and probably Hyderabad. Not even Hyderabad, Gujarat. I mean, Gujarat they have an outside chance, but I think the top five that you are seeing right now, I think, in my opinion, this is going to stay like that. And then there could be one change: Lucknow, Hyderabad, Chennai, depending on the situation. One of them might miss out. So I think we are now seeing a slightly clear picture, which we were not seeing a week ago. now we have now we have got a very good idea about who is going to qualify. So I think these 5 teams will have to play really well from here to not slip from there, and rest of the teams will have to find positives and just have to carry on with what they have got. Maybe look for like for Mumbai, they have finally got to see Mumbai fans. They finally got to see about Nihal Vadera. Punjab fans are very happy about Ashutosh Sharma, and Delhi Capitals Fraser McGurk. And things are just working out for these few teams. I think they'll just have to find these positives. Apart from that, I think there's not much left for them in this season.
Well, another thing to look for tomorrow, obviously, is with
Lucknow.
Mayank Yadav
Yeah, yeah,
and see if he gets a game tomorrow.
yeah.
But that's all we have for you today. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Please follow us on our social media handles, and yeah, give us some feedback. We're always happy to take feedback on and inculcate it in our podcast. Thank you for watching, and we will be back with you to bring you some more analysis tomorrow. Good night and have a great day.